good old number 5 is Hisoka revealing that he is part of the Phantom Troupe. But JK, not really. After 2 arcs and about 32 episodes, we can conclude numerous things about Hisoka. He is terrifying, he's sadistic, he orgasms at the thought of strong 12-year-old boys, he has an awesome net ability, and does he got that booty? He do. How I jammed my finger. Got too into the booty. Then comes along Togashi's masterful writing, and we realize that above all things, Hisoka is a master manipulator. After Hisoka's arm was severed in his fight against Castro, my mind was blown by the reveal that he was a member of the Spiders. And then, very shortly after that, it's revealed that he's not actually a member of the Spiders. He's just posing as one of the Spiders because he wants to challenge the leader because it gets off on the fun and the fact that he could cut, and you realize that this dude is playing everyone. What? Hisoka is just one of those characters from the very first time he was introduced. You realize that you're always gonna want to see more of him. He's creepy and you feel skeeved out every single time he's on the screen, but the instant he's gone, you're like, man, I wish that dude would be in every single scene and come back. Number 4, Kite's death. Now in shonen, you always go into it expecting there to be death in some shape or form, and Hunter x Hunter is no different. However, what is strange about Hunter x Hunter is the fact that it took about 85 episodes for the very first good guy to die, which made Kite's death completely catch me off guard. After Killua knocked Gon out and escaped with him, I had the exact same optimism that Gon did. Kite was strong. Kite had all of these parts to his net ability that we hadn't seen yet. Kite had just begun forming a bond with Gon. There was no possible way that such an important character would be introduced and then killed off so quickly. I was wrong. I think that shock and completely fearless writing made Kite's death so striking, but not in an unsatisfying way. What made it even more tragic is the fact that we as viewers understood that even if Pito stitched him back together, he would not be the same Kite that he was before. But Gon didn't know that. Seeing him so optimistic that Kite had survived, that Kite could be saved, really built the anticipation for the moment where he finally realized that his newest mentor was in fact dead. Gon's actions and reactions the entire series have been incredibly and notably unpredictable. So we had no idea what he was going to do once he learned, which segue brings me to my top 3 moments. Coming in at number 3 on my list is Gon versus Pichu, aka the episode that made me watch Hunter x Hunter. When this episode came out, my Twitter feed just exploded in tweets about how not only was it the best episode of Hunter x Hunter, not only was it one of the best episodes of a shonen, it was one of the best episodes of an anime ever. And after marathoning all 130 some episodes in like 2.5 weeks, give or take, I wholeheartedly 1000% with tears streaming down my face everywhere agree. Episode 131 is a masterpiece of storytelling, from the brilliant music and sound design to the Frank Miller-esque art design of the climax. It's a gripping, goosebump-inducing, and tragic 23 minutes, and it's not until it's over that you remember to breathe again. This is the first death of somebody important to Gon, and the entire episode, the atmosphere, everything perfectly captures the anguish, the rage, the bargaining that comes along with that sort of trauma. Watching Gon's eyes, which just a few episodes before were filled with so much raw intensity and anger, suddenly just go blank and his entire body go numb was just, it was so heartbreaking. And then learning everything he's sacrificing for his power just hurt that much more and was that much harder to comprehend. And once again, the voice acting from every single character was amazing, but especially Gon's voice actress. His entire "you can have my right arm" dialogue moment was so goosebumps everywhere. It was delivered so on point and so emotionally so good. In all seriousness though, they need to start in anime Emmys because this episode deserves to win best of everything. It was just that good. And if anime has taught me anything, the more hair you have, the more power you have.
So much power!
Coming in at number 2 is Miriam and Komugi's deaths. I'm still not ready. I don't know if I'm actually ready to talk about this one. Miriam and Komugi's death scene was one of the most heartbreaking yet beautiful scenes in the series, and it's one of the most beautiful deaths I have seen in anime every single time. Gosh dang it. No. From the two's dialogue back and forth, to the gaps of peaceful silence, to the breathtaking drawing of Miriam dying in Komugi's lap. Everything about this scene was beautiful, just like the two's relationship over the course of this entire arc was. Mutual respect and captivation, even love, doesn't feel like a big enough word for what they had, for the bond that was shared between them. She is the first human Miriam calls by her name. He is captivated and excited by the challenge her brilliance brings. She chooses to stay by his side even though she knows it's gonna lead to her death. There was so much connection and emotion built up between Komugi and Miriam from the first time Komugi was introduced. This was an ending that two characters, as fantastic as they were, deserved. And it is one of Hunter x Hunter's pinnacle moments of storytelling, of writing, of captivating with its emotion. If that makes sense, because I can't. In the scene in the finale, when they cut to the room where Miriam and Komugi died, and they're holding hands, and it has the two little pieces. Hunter x Hunter has destroyed my life. Coming in at number 1 on my list is Kurapika versus Uvo / the Phantom Troupe's Requiem / the entirety of the York New City arc. La 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 la. Listen, I am well aware that I am cheating. I am a dirty, dirty cheater, but I can't help it, because when you have an anime as epic as Hunter x Hunter, and then an arc as epic as the York New City arc, it's very difficult to choose just one single moment from that, you know? In York New City, the entire atmosphere of the show up until that point completely changes. The music turns haunting or vanishes entirely. The coloring goes from bright to blacks and somber, and the tension hits Death Note levels of intense, and does it so much better. The entire arc is a gripping bloodbath of never knowing which twist is going to take us where, as the different characters get closer to one another. Sometimes their paths wind around one another, and sometimes they collide, but every single time is executed brilliantly. Gon and Killua getting captured by the Phantom Troupe and their following escape is clever, as is the fact that Paku's Nen ability doesn't reveal Kurapika as the chain user, because Gon and Killua don't know Kurapika is the chain user. It really displays how intriguing and diverse the world of Nen abilities is, because they all have their strong points, but they also have their drawbacks, and you can never know whose Nen is going to come out on top until the very last moment. Kurapika, who in the beginning appeared to be your typical goody sweetheart, completely steals the show this arc, as we witness his thirst for revenge against the Phantom Troupe change him into an ice-cold badass. This entire arc, we see him walking on very thin moral gray ground, as he murders, kidnaps, works with the criminals, all to achieve this incredibly taxing goal. Togashi is really forcing the viewer to look deeper into the characters' motives and understand that the good guys aren't necessarily as clear-cut as we typically perceive them to be. Kurapika's battle against Uvo is one of my favorites of the entire series. It's so many goosebumps and awesomeness, and by the time Uvo is taking his final breath, we are actually rooting for him to survive, if only to save Kurapika from the monster that his actions are turning him into. And then we have the rest of the Phantom Troupe. are these pretty faces. You're so pretty. They are a group of psychopaths with terrifying abilities who have absolutely no qualms about their complete lack of morals. But where other stories paint the villains as a completely black canvas and one-dimensional evil for the sake of being evil, Hunter x Hunter paints them gray and gives them depth and connects you to them. Each and every one of them has emotions, personalities, bonds, people that they care about. Uba's death is not seen by the troupe as a, he lost because he was weak, let's move on without him, forget that mofo. It is seen as a traumatic loss of one of their own, of one of their family members, that nothing short of a massacre can make amends for. Which brings me to the ending of episode 51, aka the Phantom Troupe's Requiem. I can't even talk because I'm so excited because this is one of, just gotta contain the feelings, the build up, the emotion, the music, the voice acting, the directing, the dialogue, the editing. It's all so good. It is bloody fantastic, as is this entire arc in its entirety. That's why it's my favorite moment of all of Hunter x Hunter, because this arc is my favorite arc, and it's cheating, I don't care. And you thought I was done, but I actually have 2 honorable mentions. It really is an ish list, you guys. These honorable mentions did not make the list because they are completely shameless, but you know, I still have enough lack of shame to make sure that they still get talked about because they are very important to the essence of Hunter x Hunter. Shameless moment number 1 is Killua's clothing. I love the fact that Killua has one of the best wardrobes of an anime character ever. Just the fact that he changes clothes is like, he's like the only character who consistently changes his outfit. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but go back and look. He has an amazing wardrobe and he has an amazing fashion sense for a 12-year-old. It's so good. I love it. It's just one of my favorite things ever. And 2, Hisoka booty. I know I kind of touched on it, but the moment in the lake where we get full-on Hisoka booty and Killua and Gon have those little eye movements up, and then later on when they're walking and they do the little thing, it's just so good. Beach right here. Right there. Look. Just that perfect little curve. Oh no. If you would like to check out Hunter x Hunter, it is available on Netflix, Hulu, as well as Crunchyroll. There's a link in the description down below for you to try out a free 14-day premium membership of a Crunchyroll premium membership, which means you can watch this entire series in 1080p without ads, as it deserves to be watched. You should definitely go and take advantage of that if you haven't already. Okay guys, that is it for my top 11-ish kind of sort of moments from Hunter x Hunter 2011. It is an absolutely fantastic series that I'm so sad to see end, but I'm so grateful too for all of the amazing moments, both the ones I talked about here and the ones that I couldn't talk about, because genuinely from start to finish, this was a wonderful, exciting adventure of a show to experience. And I wish I had started it sooner. I didn't, but that doesn't make me lessen my enjoyment of it at all. And it is up there with Bakano and Kuroko and Trigun and Fullmetal Alchemist and Natsume as one of my favorite anime of all time. So I'm happy that I got to make this moments for you guys, and I hope that the feels in the repetitive language and vocabulary wasn't too annoying. I apologize if it was. It's just, it makes me a mess. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 11-ish moments from Hunter x Hunter 2011 are. If you'd like to find me on any other social media site, all of my links are in the description down below. The ones I use most often are Instagram, Hummingbird, Twitter, Tumblr, and Ask.fm, which is kind of cool. I hope you guys are having a fantastic anime-filled day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye! I have so many things I want to talk about this series of. I want to talk of this series about, of this 2011 or Hunter x Hunter could have been dropped. Can't even get through the first paragraph. The build-up for the Gon versus Hisoka fart. I just snorted. It's not everywhere. And Killua have to begin the epic. The entire arc's moral ambiguity, the final battle, shocking, What I put for number one, my thing is the thing. The different characters slowly, they just get closer. They don't do any sort of adverb.